Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that every cigarette you smoke takes 11 minutes off of your life? That's right. Every cigarette you smoke takes 11 minutes off of your life. Everyone tighten up their sphincters because this is going to shock the shit out of you. I did the math, okay? If, in fact, every cigarette you smoke takes 11 minutes off of your life, that means that it takes 47,781 cigarettes to take 1 year off of your life. That's 2,389 packs of cigarettes. What that means is, if you were to smoke a pack a day for 6.545 years, it would take 1 year off of your life. That's not a very convincing argument to quit smoking, you know what I mean? If they really want people to quit smoking, they should say every cigarette you smoke takes 11 hours off of your weekend. That would get people to quit smoking. It's really interesting. See, people have found that when you tell teens not to smoke, it just makes them want to smoke more. Surprise! Didn't see that one coming. So the advertising agencies have come up with a new strategy. Instead of telling teens not to smoke, they've decided to tell them that the cigarette companies are evil and that they're lying to you. Ooh. So, again, they have these commercials, and I don't know if they really work, but I want to recreate one right now. I'm going to do a little survey of the audience. Who here would want to work in a high-paying, recession-proof, multi-billion-dollar industry once they graduate? I see. Okay, who here would want to work for a company that is often in the news for their precedent-setting legal work? Good, yeah, most people. Who wants to work in an industry whose products could be potentially responsible for 1 billion deaths in the 21st century? Okay, some of you do. Others of you are not so psyched about that part, and I think you may have missed the part where I said high-paying, recession-proof, multi-billion-dollar industry. I would love to be the CEO of a cigarette company. Are you kidding me? You already have a product. You don't have to advertise. You just sit back and make $1 billion. And I hate to be a downer, but everyone in this room is going to die in the 21st century, you guys. That's 100 years almost. Of course, smoking's bad for you. If you don't smoke, don't start. But sometimes you need a cigarette, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need a cigarette. Like, if you're gonna burn down a house, obviously the coolest way to do it is to douse the house in gasoline, douse the house, and then go outside, light a cigarette, flick it, and then walk away from the house in slow motion as it burns behind you. But you're gonna look a lot less like a badass if when you light it up, you're like, menthol, gross. The state of Colorado recently began an ad campaign against meth. Yeah, and this campaign, just like the other one, has a bunch of fallacies in it. It's kind of gruesome, actually. They had this billboard of like a rundown bathroom, you know, like a gas station bathroom, and in it, it says, nobody ever thinks they would lose their virginity here. Meth will change that. And that's kind of a non sequitur, right? Like, how do those two even go together? Joke's on you, billboard. I never thought I was going to lose my virginity, period. Here's the thing. If you want people to quit doing drugs and quit smoking and stuff like that, you have to use real-life examples to convince them that it's bad. For instance, whenever I want to do meth, like whenever I watch the show Breaking Bad, which is the best show ever. Yes, thank you, one person. Whenever I feel like I want to do meth, I just think about Fergie, because Fergie did meth. And I think, do I want to be ugly and untalented? And the answer is no, so I don't do meth. Relationship tip number 2, don't do meth. Unfortunately, that strategy doesn't really work for like other drugs. Like when I think about crack and I think about Whitney Houston, I'm like, do I want to be black? Yeah. Every white person wants to be black. At least until the cops show up, you know? Here's another problem I have. I just have way too many white friends. Like I don't have barely any friends that are minorities. I had a black friend once, but he moved to Washington. I have like 2 Asian friends and a handful of Mexican friends. I've been thinking about adopting an affirmative action policy when it comes to deciding who my new friends are. You know what I mean? I've developed a point system, and if you're a minority, you already get a big stack of points that would be becoming my friend. And for those of you white people out there who want to become my friend, and you're thinking, hey, that doesn't sound very good, that sounds like discrimination, let me explain to you what affirmative action is, okay? Affirmative action is not discrimination, no. I'm merely equalizing opportunity by giving more opportunity to people that are different from you in ways that you can't control, okay? It's not discrimination, I'm being racist, do you understand? And if you don't have Mexicans at your work, you need to get some immediately. Mexicans at your work are awesome. They're really nice, they're super hard workers, and if you ask them nicely, they'll teach you how to say stuff in Spanish. It's awesome. For example, me gusta panocha sabrosa means I love deviled eggs, you know? Chinga madre means checkmate, Mom. I don't really know why they taught me that one.